Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Today, we're going to learn how to find the least common multiple. Or LCM. Least common multiple, or LCM. Very, very easy, and you can use a multiplication chart to find almost all of these. Not all of them, but almost all of these that you've already done. So let's look at our first one. We were given the numbers 3 and 4, and it asked us to find the least common multiple of 3 and 4. Think multiple, find multiplication chart. So I'm going to list the multiples of 3. 15, 18. I'm not going to keep going forever because there are millions of common multiples. 4, 8, 12. Boom. The first one they have in common is 12. So the least common multiple equals 12. Phenomenal question. Jaron wants to know, when will we use this? Well, we will use this when we're adding fractions. Because as you know, we can't add fractions unless they have the same denominator. Unless they have the same denominator. So we're going to use it in that case. And let's look at our next set of numbers. See if I do this right. I won't have to, if I do all of them, then I don't have to talk to my second and third class. I can just go on and show them this video. But don't tell them I said that.
Yes, Coach.
Well, if you show them the video,
What's up,
you said that.
They'll ignore this part.
What's up,
So,
Flip-Flop?
7 and 9. We list our multiples of 7 and 9. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. What's next?
42.
42. What's next?
49.
49. 56. 63. Now I know if, I know, because I know my multiples, and a lot of these I could do in my head, or I could use my multiplication chart. That's an awesome question. Chloe says, what if we don't have a multiplication chart to use on a test or something? Well, Chloe, if you had one on a test and you weren't allowed to make or to use a multiplication chart, they didn't give you one, you could always make one. There are certain tests where they give you graph paper that would be easy to do. So give me my multiples of 9. 9.
18, 27, 36, 35, 45, 54, 63, 73.
63. So the least common multiple is 63. Some of them, the least common multiple will just be the two numbers multiplied together. That will be a common multiple, but not always the least common multiple. For example, the next one. You can't just multiply 8 and 6 together and get the least common multiple. That won't be the least common multiple. We have 8 and 6. So 8,
16,
16,
32, 40, 48, 56.
All right, let's do 6. 6, 12, 18,
24, 30,
20,
36, 42, 43.
24 is my least common multiple. If you just multiplied them together, you'd get 48, which would not be the least common multiple. Again, another one that can be found on your multiplication chart. You won't even have to list them all if you just use your multiplication chart and go down until you find the first one that appears in both rows. Easy peasy, raw chicken squeezy.
No, thank you.
12 and 3. If I was going to, then I wouldn't say raw chicken. 12 and 3. Let's list our multiples of 3 first. 3.
6, 9, 12,
I'm going to stop there.
24.
I'm going to stop there. Our multiples of 12.
12.
Boom, done.
It's a peanut.
All done.
I'm a big kid. I didn't realize that.
All done. It's just 12. Easily. We have, again, another one you could look at a multiplication chart for. Another one you could look at a multiplication chart for. 3 and 8. Yes. 3 and 8.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Stop. 8, 16, 24. 24 is my least common multiple. All I have to do is list them. And we're going to get where we need to be.
That's why they did it so fast.
Because we need to be there. It usually doesn't take as many of the larger multiple as it does the smaller multiple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 8 and 20. See, we already had 8 written down because you just did it on the last one. I know. But you could do it because you already have it written on your paper. Please stop knocking on the desk or you're going to make me insane. So you already have 8. 8's already on your paper. So we're not going to redo 8.
Okay.
I'm going to do 20. You tell me when I get to the least common multiple. 40.
Already.
Least common multiple is 40. That's why I always encourage you. When you do your work, leave it on your paper. Don't always erase. And some of you like, oh, I messed up, I'm going to erase. But then you have it. You have it. It's your... We've already done 4. We've already done 5. And we've already done... We haven't done 10, right? Have we done 5 in your...
Yes.
on this assignment?
Yes.
No, we haven't. Not on this part. We've already done 4. 4. We'll just do this one quick because we've already done it. You're drumming again. Our 5s are 5, 10, 15, 20. Our 10s are 10, 20, 20. 20, very easy. 6 and 4, we've already done both of these numbers on this very assignment. So what is the least common multiple of 6 and 4, JJ? 12. 12. Least common multiple is easy. The problem you run into is you get confused whether you're supposed to do least common multiple or greatest common factor. Greatest common factor is for simplifying fractions to lowest terms, or reducing, as you'll sometimes see it written. Least common multiple is for using to find the common denominators. You may also see it written least common denominator. Least common denominator, least common multiple. That means you just find the least common multiple of the denominators. Questions?
What about the last one?
We just did that one.
Oh.
Because we already have 6 written down, we already have 4 written down. So I just looked back at my last work, went down it, found I already had 12. What other questions do we have? Boom, shakalaka, peace out, God bless, love you. Do something kind today. If you haven't subscribed, please do so right now.